Hello everyone and welcome to today's topic. Today we will talk about the phenotyping of the Rh antigens. So we'll come to that table later. So we'll start about the Rh antigens. We have D antigen, C capital, C small, E capital, and E small antigens in Rh system. So to write the genotype, first thing we have to know the D antigen. Is it positive or we don't have no D antigen? If we have the D antigen is positive or available, the genotype letter will be R capital. In case we don't have the D antigen, or sometimes they write it like D small, it will be R small in the genotyping section. I will explain it clearly and you don't need to go to another video to understand it, so just bear with me. So this is the first step you have to know, like if it is D positive, R capital. If it's D negative, we don't have D antigen, which is R small. So this is for the first one. What about the other two, C and E? I'll explain it now. So we have C capital. When you have the C capital, you write number 1, or sometimes they write like -1. When we have an E capital, we'll write number 2, or position number 2, or like this 2. But sometimes we get C capital and E capital both positive. In this case, either we write like Z or Y letter. I will explain these things in details. Just a moment. So this is only introductory for you, so you know where I'm bringing these things, and I'll give you the examples to understand this. So just let's make a table. We have gene and we have antigen. So if we have the gene is R capital means we have the D antigen, and there is no number, like it's not like R1 R2, it's R0, or sometimes they write it R0, means the C is small and the E is small, no capital. So this is position number 1, this is position number 2. Remember these two positions, okay? So sometimes we have R1. R means the capital. 1 means position 1 capital. And we put the C small. And when we have R2, means the position number 2 is positive. So C small, position number 2 is positive. In case of RZ, we have both C and E are positive in case of this. So it's easy. When we have no numbers, both are negative. When we have number 1, position 1, which is C, is positive. When we have number 2, position 2, which is E, is positive. So this is C, this is E. When we have the letter E, well, letter Z, we have both positive, C and E. And coming to the second part, it's the same, exactly the same. But when we have the antigen is absent, when we have like the antigen is absent, like so, we have D small, so R small. So it depends, the letter depends on the D. So we have D small, we will have R small. Then we'll look at the numbers. So sometimes it will be R like this, or they will write it R0, means both no position. So C is and E both are negative, small. When we have R1, So we have number 1 is positive, which is C. We'll put the E. When we have number 2 R2, that means position number 2 is positive, which is E in this case. And lastly, we will have RY. In this case, easy, both will be positive. Got it? So this is easy. No numbers, both negative. 1, position 1 is positive. 2, position 2 is positive. Y, both positions are positive. Okay, now let's move to this example. Just to recap, so R means we have the D antigen for all D capital antigen. So when we have no numbers, so C small, E small. When we have R1 means C capital, position number 1, and E small. R2, position number 2, C small, position number 2 is E capital. RZ means both are capital. Okay, in this case it's the same. R small means D small. No numbers means C small and E small. Then both all D, we'll write all D to be clear. So when we have R, we have D small. We like the D antigen. So number 1, R1 means position number 1. So C is positive, E small. R2 means position number 2. C small, position number 2 is E capital. RY means both positions are positive. I hope it was clear. And but an exam sometimes will give you like patient so and so that the phenotyping has been done, and we got like this. They will write it: D positive, C capital is positive, C small is negative, E capital negative, E small is positive. And you have to write the positive together, D. So the phenotyping is D, C capital, and E small. Then you have to write it in the genotype. It will be as it is D, that means R capital. Then position 1 is positive, so R1. Because they are paired from 2 parents, it will be R1, R1. And that's all for today, and see you in the next video.